Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you something powerful tonight. Have you ever wondered why some women seem composed on the surface, yet their actions quietly reveal a storm of desire beneath? The truth is, attraction is rarely shouted, it's whispered in the smallest, hidden signals. 10 subtle things she will only do around the man she truly wants, and if you learn to see them, you'll never look at a conversation, a glance, or even a moment of silence the same way again. When it comes to desire, words often fail where the eyes speak volumes. There is something timeless and universal about the way a glance can tell a story that 1,000 sentences cannot. Around a man she truly longs for, a woman's eyes become her unguarded diary, revealing emotions too powerful, too delicate, or too vulnerable to be spoken out loud. She might laugh with her friends, converse with confidence in a group, or hold herself together with absolute composure, but the moment her eyes find him, everything shifts. It's subtle, so subtle that most men miss it, but if you look closely, you'll see it, that spark, that hesitation, that lingering second where her gaze seems to rest a heartbeat longer than usual. It's not the glance itself that holds the power, it's the energy behind it. Eyes are windows to the soul, not because of their physical beauty, but because of the truth they cannot hide. Around the one she truly desires, her glances are not random. They are charged with silent electricity. Sometimes it's quick, stolen, almost playful, as if she's testing the waters. At other times it's deep and locked in, a gaze that seems to pause time itself. In those moments, it's as if the rest of the world fades away, and only 2 people exist, her and the one she wants. But why the eyes? Why do they betray what the lips are too afraid to admit? Because the eyes don't operate with calculation. They are impulsive, instinctive, and honest. They don't ask permission from the brain to express desire, they simply reveal it. That is why when a woman finds herself around someone she genuinely longs for, she may try to control her words, her posture, even her tone, but she cannot fully control her gaze. It becomes the one channel through which her heart slips past the defenses she has built. Now think of the intensity in that split-second connection. Imagine her at a gathering, surrounded by people, laughter echoing all around, and yet her eyes instinctively search for him. She doesn't even realize it. Her glance keeps returning, as if drawn by a force beyond logic. That's not coincidence, that's chemistry manifesting in its rawest form. Even when she quickly looks away, the truth has already escaped. The hesitation, the half-smile, the nervousness in her pupils, they all tell a story. And if he's aware, if he's present, he will know that this is not just attention, it's attraction. Sometimes that look isn't filled with bold confidence. Sometimes it's soft, almost shy, carrying the weight of unspoken feelings. In that vulnerability, the glance reveals its most powerful truth. Desire isn't always loud, flamboyant, or obvious. More often than not, it's quiet, tender, and hidden in plain sight. A man might overlook it, thinking she's just being polite or simply glancing his way out of courtesy. But if he pays attention, he'll notice the subtle difference. The way her eyes light up slightly more for him than for anyone else, the way her pupils widen unconsciously, the way she breaks eye contact just a moment too soon because the intensity overwhelms her. What makes these glances so powerful is that they create a silent conversation. Without a single word spoken, there is already a dialogue happening between 2 souls. Her glance asks, "Do you feel this too?" And if he holds her gaze just long enough, without arrogance but with assurance, his eyes answer, "Yes, I see you." This unspoken exchange builds a bridge that words might take months to construct. It is in these fleeting but charged seconds that connections deepen, even if no confession is made. The beauty of such glances lies in their authenticity. A woman can practice her words, rehearse her tone, even mask her emotions through controlled body language. But she cannot script the way her eyes betray her heart when she looks at the one she longs for. It is raw, unedited, and completely real. That's why these looks feel so powerful, because they bypass the brain and come directly from the soul. For the man on the receiving end, awareness is everything. Many miss these signals, dismissing them as coincidence or politeness, never realizing that they just witnessed a truth most people never get to see. To recognize it is to be invited into a world far deeper than surface-level attraction. It's an invitation into intimacy without words, into vulnerability without confession. That is the secret gift hidden in those subtle glances, and it doesn't always stop at just one look. Once the eyes reveal what the heart feels, they continue to betray her over and over again. He walks into the room, and her instinct is to look his way. He says something, and even if she pretends to be distracted, her eyes still find him. She laughs at a joke someone else made, but then quickly looks to him, almost unconsciously, to see if he noticed her laughter. This pattern isn't planned, it's desire weaving itself into her very instincts. It is in these small, unguarded moments that truth emerges. Because when a woman truly longs for someone, she doesn't need to declare it with grand gestures or bold proclamations. Her eyes, in their quiet rebellion against her composed exterior, will always give her away. And the man who understands this language, this unspoken poetry, will discover a secret most overlooked, that desire isn't always announced. Sometimes it's whispered in a glance that holds the weight of 1,000 words. Around the man who ignites something deep within, there is always a shift that no amount of practice can disguise. The body becomes a storyteller, revealing truths that words may try to conceal. It's not about a rehearsed performance or a deliberate strategy. It's instinctual, raw, and entirely human. When desire stirs, posture changes, gestures soften, and even the smallest movements begin to speak. What seems like ordinary behavior to an untrained eye is actually a symphony of signals woven together by subconscious attraction. It begins with proximity. She may not even realize it, but her body gravitates closer. In a crowded room, her steps naturally align with his. If he's standing, she edges nearer. If he's sitting, she finds herself drawn into his orbit. There's a magnetic pull at work, one that resists logic or planning. This isn't about needing to touch or embrace. It's about creating a closeness that feels natural, almost necessary. Without saying a word, her body announces, "I feel safe near you, and I want to be within your space." Then comes the lean. Watch closely in conversation, and you'll notice it, the way her body tilts forward, breaking the invisible barrier that she maintains with others. It's not exaggerated, it's subtle, almost imperceptible, but it's powerful. The lean isn't about invading personal space, but about showing investment. It's her body's way of saying, "I'm not just hearing you, I'm absorbed by you." This movement shifts the dynamic of interaction from casual to intimate, from distant to connected. Mirroring is another profound indicator. Around someone she truly desires, she unconsciously adopts his rhythms. If he crosses his arms, moments later she might do the same. If he adjusts his posture, she reflects it without even realizing. It isn't mimicry, it's alignment. Her subconscious is working overtime to create harmony, to establish a rhythm where two bodies move as though tuned to the same song. This mirroring is nature's way of building rapport, of silently declaring, "We are alike. We belong in sync." The shoulders, too, tell a story. In the presence of someone she admires from afar, she may appear guarded, stiff, even protective. But when she is around the one she truly wants, something changes. Her shoulders relax, the armor drops, and she allows herself to be seen in her softness. It's a sign of trust as much as attraction. That release of tension says, "I don't feel the need to defend myself with you. I can let my guard down." Hands, though often overlooked, are powerful truth tellers. They fidget less when she feels calm in his company, or sometimes they fidget more because the energy is overwhelming. She may play with her hair, adjust her jewelry, or brush something invisible from her clothes. All signs that her body is channeling the energy of attraction through movement. At times her hands will move toward him subtly, resting on the table closer to his, or reaching for something at the same moment he does. It's not calculated, it's instinct pulling her body toward the source of her desire. Even the rhythm of her breathing can shift. Around someone she's indifferent to, her breath is steady, controlled, almost unnoticed. But when desire takes over, her breathing may quicken, deepen, or subtly change in cadence to match his. This synchronization is not conscious, it's the body tuning itself like an instrument, creating harmony without rehearsal. What makes all of this remarkable is how unintentional it is. A woman could prepare herself to appear calm, collected, and unaffected, but her body betrays her in ways she can't always control. The closeness, the lean, the mirroring, the softening of her stance, these are not choices but instincts, written into her very biology. It's attraction manifesting through movement, desire playing out through posture. The magic lies in the subtlety. None of these shifts scream for attention, yet together they create a powerful atmosphere. If you're the man in question, you might not notice each detail in isolation, but you'll feel the difference. You'll sense that her energy is warmer, that her presence is drawn in, that her body language with you doesn't match the body language she shows the rest of the world. It's like stepping into a space where gravity feels stronger, where the air seems thicker with unspoken meaning. And the truth is, the body doesn't lie. Words can be polished, tones can be managed, but the body always tells on the heart. The way she positions herself, the way her frame unconsciously opens, the way she aligns with his movements, these are all confessions without sound. It is desire translated into motion, honesty expressed without language. This is why awareness becomes so powerful. For many, these shifts remain unnoticed, brushed off as coincidence or ordinary behavior, but for those who pay attention, they reveal the deeper truth of connection. They are the signs of a body surrendering to emotion, of instinct overriding logic, of desire becoming visible in the most human way possible. When desire begins to stir, it rarely shows itself in serious declarations or bold confessions. More often it slips out through humor, through playful little sparks that disguise themselves as jokes, challenges, or light-hearted banter. Teasing might seem like something casual, even childish to an outsider, but in truth it is one of the most powerful signals of attraction. It is the language of closeness, a way of testing boundaries without crossing them, and an invitation to connect on a deeper level without saying too much. Think about it. Teasing is not something given to everyone. She doesn't waste her playful energy on someone she feels nothing for. Around acquaintances or people who don't move her, her words may remain polite, formal, and predictable, but with the man she secretly desires, a different side emerges. Her wit sharpens, her comments carry a playful edge, and she introduces a rhythm of challenge and laughter. It's as if she's saying, "I'm comfortable enough with you to let my guard down and show you my mischievous side." That playfulness is a sign of intimacy, a soft opening of the door to something more. Teasing carries with it a beautiful paradox. On one hand, it's light, humorous, almost childlike. On the other, it's deeply meaningful, a subtle test of compatibility. Every playful jab is a way of asking, "Can you match me? Can you handle me? Can you make me laugh in return?" It is not about mocking or belittling. It's about creating a spark that turns ordinary conversation into chemistry. Through it, she gauges whether he can meet her on the same emotional wavelength, whether he can keep the energy alive without shattering the delicate balance between fun and attraction. There's an art to how it happens. It might be a small joke about something he said, exaggerated in a way that makes both of them laugh. Maybe it's a playful nickname, something teasing yet endearing that she uses only for him, or it could be the way she challenges him over little things, pretending to argue while secretly enjoying every second of the interaction. To anyone else, it's harmless banter, but to her, it's a dance, a way of building closeness while maintaining a veil of innocence. Playful teasing is also a shield. It allows her to express feelings without the risk of exposure. Saying directly, "I like you," may feel too vulnerable, too raw, but a joke about him always finding excuses, or a playful nudge about his habits, communicates the same interest in disguise. It's safe, because if the response isn't what she hoped for, she can always laugh it off as just fun. Yet if he responds in kind, the connection deepens, and suddenly the air between them feels charged with something much bigger than words. The laughter that follows teasing is equally important. Laughter lowers defenses. It melts away formality and creates a shared moment that belongs only to the two people involved. Every time she teases him and he responds with a smile or a witty comeback, it strengthens an invisible bond. It builds a private world where the rules are different, where seriousness takes a back seat and attraction flourishes under the disguise of humor. But teasing isn't just about words, it's also about tone and timing. The raised eyebrow, the mischievous smile, the pause before delivering a playful remark, all of these nonverbal cues intensify the moment. Even the smallest gestures, like nudging him lightly when she makes a joke or rolling her eyes in mock annoyance, add layers of warmth and energy. It's not random, it's her way of saying, I want to engage with you, I want to create a spark that's ours. Another hidden layer of teasing lies in the challenge it presents. By playfully pushing his buttons, she is testing his confidence. Can he handle light criticism with grace? Can he play along without getting defensive? Desire doesn't settle for fragile egos, it seeks someone strong enough to laugh at themselves, to join in the rhythm rather than resist it. When she teases, she is really asking, can you meet me where I am? Can you be my equal in both laughter and connection? This challenge, when met, creates a feedback loop of attraction. If he responds with humor of his own, not cruel or dismissive but clever and light, the energy doubles. The teasing becomes a shared game, each exchange building more tension, more intimacy, more laughter. This dance of words becomes addictive because it is more than just communication, it's flirtation wrapped in wit, a preview of how well they might flow together in other areas of life. What makes teasing so powerful is that it holds both safety and risk at the same time. Safe, because it's disguised as humor, allowing her to express interest without full vulnerability. Risky, because underneath the joke lies a piece of truth, and if he listens closely, he'll hear it. She wouldn't bother teasing someone who didn't matter to her. She wouldn't spend that energy if she didn't secretly long for his attention. So every playful remark is, in its own way, a confession in disguise. In the end, teasing is more than just fun. It is a form of intimacy. It's the act of letting someone step into a side of you that isn't reserved for everyone. It is a signal of comfort, of trust, of hidden attraction. Beneath every playful jab and mischievous laugh, there's an undercurrent of vulnerability, a quiet truth that whispers, you matter enough to me that I want to pull you into my world of laughter. When true desire takes root, it doesn't just show up in smiles, glances, or playful energy. It goes deeper, to a place where surface-level interactions are no longer enough. Attraction alone might spark interest, but when there is real longing, something far more profound happens. She begins to reveal her vulnerable side. Vulnerability is not weakness, it is courage. It is the quiet bravery of peeling back the layers and letting someone see what most of the world never gets close enough to witness. At first, she may appear guarded, polished, and composed, presenting the version of herself she knows is safe. That's the mask most people get. The curated image, the practiced stories, the well-managed persona that protects her from judgment or rejection. But around the man she truly desires, the mask begins to slip, not because she loses control, but because the pull to be authentic becomes too strong to resist. Something in her spirit says, with him I want to be real. This revelation doesn't happen all at once. It begins in small ways. Maybe she admits a quirky habit, something she normally hides for fear of being seen as odd. Perhaps she shares a childhood story, not the polished ones she tells in social gatherings, but the raw, unfiltered memories that shaped her. It might be as simple as letting him see her without the constant need to impress, showing up in her natural state, unpolished but true. These little cracks in the armor are the earliest signs of trust, the beginning of intimacy that goes far beyond attraction. Vulnerability deepens when she starts to share her fears. The world often teaches people to present strength, to appear unshakable, to never let weaknesses show. But when she feels deeply drawn to someone, the opposite happens. She feels safe enough to confess the things that scare her, the insecurities that keep her awake at night, the silent battles she carries but rarely voices. This isn't drama, it's authenticity. It's her heart whispering, I believe you won't use this against me. I believe you'll hold this part of me gently. Alongside fears come dreams, not the superficial goals she might casually mention to others, but the tender, almost sacred visions she holds close to her heart. Around him, she dares to articulate the ambitions she's too afraid to share widely, the ones she fears people will laugh at or dismiss. Sharing dreams is an act of trust because it means letting someone step into her future, even if only in imagination. It's her way of saying, I want you to see the path I hope to walk because a part of me wishes you might walk it with me. There is also the openness of emotion. Around the man she truly longs for, she allows herself to express without constant self-editing. If something makes her laugh uncontrollably, she doesn't suppress it. If something touches her deeply, she lets her tears show instead of hiding them. In those moments, she is not performing, she is being. And that state of being is the highest form of closeness because it reflects trust. She no longer feels the need to filter, because his presence has created a space safe enough for her raw emotions to live. Vulnerability also appears in the little confessions of everyday life. Maybe she admits that she overthinks things, that she sometimes doubts herself, that she struggles with imperfections. She doesn't have to reveal these things. Most people never hear them. But with him, the urge to be fully known outweighs the fear of being judged. It is a quiet surrender, a way of saying, I want you to see me, not just the version I show the world. There is a beauty in the way vulnerability transforms connection. Without it, attraction may remain playful, fun, and surface level. With it, everything shifts into depth and meaning, because when she chooses to reveal her true self, she is offering more than attention, she is offering trust. Trust is the bedrock of intimacy, and intimacy, real intimacy, is never built on perfection. It is built on the courage to be imperfect in front of someone else. It's important to recognize that this act of revealing is not easy. Vulnerability is terrifying because it carries risk. To open up is to risk rejection, to risk misunderstanding, to risk being hurt. That is why she doesn't share these parts of herself with just anyone. Only when she feels a strong pull, only when the desire is deep and genuine, does she allow herself to step into that risk. And when she does, it is a profound gift, because it means she sees in him someone worthy of her truth. And what's remarkable is that once vulnerability enters the dynamic, the entire energy between them changes. The conversations shift from light and casual to meaningful and layered. The silences no longer feel awkward, but comfortable, because they are no longer trying to fill space, they are simply existing together. The connection begins to feel less like an interaction and more like a bond, less like attraction and more like something alive, breathing and real. When true longing exists, it never remains hidden in the ordinary routines of life. It spills out into the little choices, the delicate details, and the effort placed into appearance. Around most people she may be casual, unbothered, even indifferent to how she presents herself, but around the man she truly desires, something changes. The mirror becomes more than just a surface of reflection, it becomes a canvas. Every detail, from the way she styles her hair to the fragrance she selects, carries intention. This isn't vanity, and it isn't about superficial validation, it's about devotion, it's about silently communicating. You matter to me, and I want you to see me at my best. The shift is not always obvious to outsiders. To most, she looks simply well put together. But to him, if he pays attention, he'll notice the difference. Perhaps she chooses a dress that makes her feel confident, not just fashionable. Maybe she adds that subtle shade of color on her lips, or wears a perfume that lingers just long enough to be remembered. Even the simplest details, like the way she smooths her hair or adjusts her outfit before meeting him, are messages written without words. They are small, intentional acts that reveal a deeper truth. His opinion matters more than anyone else's. But this effort is not about perfection. It's not about becoming flawless or looking like someone else. It's about expressing care through presentation. When she takes time to consider her appearance before being around him, it is her way of saying that his presence is important, that he inspires her to show up fully, not because she's insecure, but because she wants to reflect the value she places on him. It's the same energy someone brings when preparing for a moment that truly matters. They rise to the occasion because the moment is worth it. Even the choice of fragrance tells a story. Scents are deeply emotional, tied to memory and desire. When she chooses a perfume before seeing him, it isn't random. She hopes that when he thinks of her later, the faint trace of that fragrance lingers in his memory. She wants him to associate her with warmth, with beauty, with a feeling that cannot easily be forgotten. Scent becomes an invisible thread of connection, a silent presence that follows him even when she isn't there. Hair, too, becomes a form of expression. She might wear it in a way that makes her feel radiant, or she may experiment with styles she wouldn't try otherwise, simply because she wants him to notice. She may tuck it behind her ear in his presence, revealing her face more openly, or she may let it flow freely as a subtle expression of softness. These decisions might seem small, but they carry weight because they are intentional acts of attraction. They are her way of letting desire show itself through detail. The effort also extends beyond physical beauty. It's about energy. When she desires someone deeply, she radiates differently. She doesn't just prepare her appearance, she prepares her presence. The glow in her skin, the brightness in her smile, the sparkle in her eyes, these are not manufactured by makeup or clothing. They come from the excitement of being near him, from the anticipation that fills her heart. It's a natural radiance that no product can replicate, born from genuine feeling. Even posture and movement become part of this silent language. She might stand a little taller, not from arrogance but from a desire to be noticed. She may walk with more confidence, not staged but instinctive, because his presence fuels her. Every small gesture, adjusting a sleeve, smoothing the fabric of her dress, glancing in the mirror before stepping into the room, is part of a ritual of care. She is not doing these things for the world, she is doing them for him. Yet the beauty of this effort lies in its sincerity. She is not pretending to be someone she is not. She is simply amplifying the parts of herself she wants him to see more clearly. Her true self is still present, but desire makes her more intentional, more thoughtful, more expressive. It is not about hiding flaws, it is about highlighting the beauty that already exists, because she wants him to see it, to value it, to remember it. This kind of effort is rare. Around most, she may feel no need to try, because there is no spark driving her. But around the man she truly longs for, she feels inspired to elevate herself. That inspiration is not about desperation, it's about meaning. His presence gives her reason to put energy into the details, to carry herself with elegance, to leave an impression that lingers long after she is gone. It is her way of investing in connection without saying it aloud. And even when she tries to downplay it, it shows. The extra time she spends choosing what to wear, the slight nervousness when she checks her reflection one last time, the careful attention to detail in her appearance, these are not random habits. They are reflections of desire, of attraction made visible in the most human way. It is effort born from feeling, and it speaks louder than words ever could. When true attraction goes beyond surface glances and playful teasing, it reveals itself in presence, the way someone chooses to simply be around the person they desire. Presence is not about words, not about how loudly feelings are declared, but about the energy carried in silence, in attention, in the decision to give time and focus. When a woman truly longs for a man, she doesn't just appear in his life casually. She invests her presence, pouring herself into the moment with him in a way that feels unmistakably different from how she treats the rest of the world. Around most people, attention is divided, distractions creep in, the phone buzzes, thoughts drift elsewhere. But around him, the world seems to blur into the background. Her attention sharpens, her focus narrows, and her presence becomes magnetic. She listens with more than her ears, she listens with her whole being. Every word he speaks feels valued, every detail remembered, because she isn't just hearing him, she is absorbing him. That kind of presence cannot be faked. It comes from genuine interest, from the deep pull of desire that makes everything about him feel important. Laughter becomes easier in this presence. Jokes that might only earn a polite smile from others bring out her genuine laughter, the kind that lights up her entire face. Her joy becomes more vibrant around him, not because she is forcing it, but because being in his space heightens her emotions. This isn't about acting cheerful, it's about a natural shift in energy that makes her feel alive in his company. and that joy in turn becomes contagious, drawing him closer to her without either of them needing to explain why. Her presence is also marked by availability. She finds reasons to be where he is, even if she disguises them as coincidence. She doesn't just show up physically, she makes space for him in her schedule, in her priorities, in her world. This investment of time is one of the clearest signs of genuine attraction, because time is one of the most valuable things anyone can give. When she consistently chooses to be present, it means his presence matters enough to rearrange hers. But presence is not only measured by time spent together, it's in the quality of those moments. Around him, she is less distracted, less guarded, more engaged. She may put aside her phone, lean in during conversation, or create an atmosphere where it feels as though nothing else exists but the two of them. This is not something she offers to everyone. It is reserved, intentional, and sacred, because it signifies that he is not just another person in her day. He is the center of her attention when he's near. There is also a warmth in her presence that is undeniable. Her energy softens, her expression brightens, and she radiates a kind of openness that feels welcoming. Others might notice that she seems different when he is around, more animated, more alive, more herself. This transformation is not deliberate. It is the natural result of being in the company of someone she desires deeply. His presence draws out parts of her personality that remain hidden with others. That kind of transformation is not about pretense, it's about resonance. Even silence carries meaning in this presence. With most people, silence can feel uncomfortable, a gap that needs to be filled. But with him, silence feels like connection. She doesn't rush to fill every pause, because simply existing in the same space feels meaningful enough. The comfort of silence is one of the purest signs of intimacy, a reminder that presence does not need constant noise to prove its worth. Physical cues add to this energy. She faces him directly, her body oriented toward him even in a group setting. She leans closer, maintains eye contact, and reacts more vividly to his words than to anyone else's. These are not conscious decisions, they are instinctive responses to being pulled into his gravity. When attraction is real, the body follows the heart, and presence becomes a full body experience. What makes presence so powerful is its rarity. In a world full of distractions, where people are constantly divided between screens, obligations and noise, giving undivided attention is extraordinary. To receive it is to feel chosen, valued, significant. When she gives this kind of focus, it is her unspoken way of saying, "You matter more than the distractions. I want to be here fully with you." This level of presence has a lasting impact. Long after the moment passes, he remembers the way she looked at him when he spoke, the way her laughter seemed brighter in his company, the way her energy wrapped around him like warmth. Those memories linger because presence is not fleeting, it imprints itself. It creates an emotional resonance that words alone could never achieve. Presence is desire in its purest form, because it cannot be borrowed, faked, or manufactured. Anyone can say the right words or wear the right clothes, but giving authentic attention, real energy, and genuine availability requires feeling. And when she chooses to bring that fullness of presence into his life, it is the clearest sign that her desire is not shallow, it is deep, intentional, and real. At the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, desire is not always declared with words. It's revealed in the quiet, unspoken language of presence, effort, and vulnerability, from the subtle glance that lingers too long, to the way her body unconsciously leans in, to the playful teasing that masks a deeper truth. Every signal is a doorway into her heart. When she reveals her softer side, when she puts thought into how she shows up, and when she gives you her undivided presence, she's telling you more than any confession ever could. The real secret is this: love doesn't always arrive with grand speeches or bold moves. It's hidden in the smallest actions, the ones most people overlook. And if you learn to see these signals, you'll realize that attraction isn't about guessing, it's about noticing. Because when a woman truly desires, she doesn't just show up, she shows herself. And that, my friends, is the most powerful truth of all.